Zain Khan is an advocate, is joining us here on the broadcast. Thank you very much, Mr. Khan, for speaking to us. Your perspective here, because this is not something we're seeing for the first time, and it's unlikely that it's going to be the last time that we see something like this. There are over 3,000 such buildings in the city of Mumbai which are in such a dilapidated condition.
Yes, Abni, thank you for calling me to your show. Yes, this is not the first incident that has taken place. There have been several incidents that are taking place every year as the monsoon begins. We hear incidents like this. And in fact, when monsoon should bring joy to the city of Mumbai, it brings us sorrow with incidents like this. Year after year, several buildings are collapsing, people are dying out. Municipal corporation, as your reporter rightly covered, that these incidents are taking place every year. People are dying, but nothing much has been done. Municipal corporation has itself, in the year 2014, approached the Honorable Bombay High Court and sought directions from them how they can take actions, etc., for dealing with people who are residing in dilapidated buildings. Extensive directions were given right in 2014 when Bombay High Court has said that notices can be given and these dilapidated buildings can be evacuated even by using police force and by disconnecting their electricity supply, water connection, etc. But nothing seems to be done. There are the court is thronged by matters like this which are pending before the court. PMC has a lackadaisical attitude, no replies being filed, time being consumed, and this is what is happening in the city of Mumbai. It's absolutely disheartening to see so many people losing life. In fact, there is a list which comes out every year in the month of April or in the month of March, which says the number of buildings which are dilapidated or which needs to be demolished. But if you see the list, that list keeps on increasing or the numbers being carried forward. No action, etc., is taken by municipal corporation. In fact, this year a list is released by the municipal corporation where 337 structures are shown to be dilapidated and which require immediate demolition. Nothing seems to be done, and this is the result of what happens if no action is taken by the municipal corporation.
Yes, absolutely. The other important issue as well here is very often we see, the argument being given that we had in fact put out circulars and put out notices, but the people, residents refuse to leave. That is also a very real concern because very often or more often than not, the residents have nowhere else to go and they, would prefer to stay in the building and in that dilapidated building rather than try and find some other place. So obviously this is a larger issue here and the one that requires intervention from all sides.
Yes. In fact, that is a major issue. People fear losing out their rights in the building. Maybe they are tenants or they are owners, etc. But in a city like Mumbai, it takes several years for obtaining permissions for constructions of building and then, having the building constructed, readied, etc. And the past experience with developers has also not gone with Mumbaikars. Projects have been delayed for years together. People have not been handed over their premises, etc. But all these issues have been covered by the Honorable Bombay High Court, where recently there is a order passed in a suo motu PIL by the Bombay High Court, where the Bombay High Court has directed the state authorities, the municipal corporation, the urban development department, that for dealing with such incidents and for preventing loss of life, some policy has to be framed by the state government where mass housing, etc., mass housing projects have to be taken up. And projects which are deliberated like this, like municipal corporation buildings or Mahada buildings, etc., they need to be, they need to be given assurance that their rights will be freezed or, they will get their buildings back when they are reconstructed. And in the meantime, they can be accommodated to the buildings which have been constructed by the government. But unfortunately, nothing of that sort is taking place. What the government is doing is they are giving they are giving rebates and reliefs to developers, etc., for private development, which of course is necessary. But then something in a city like Mumbai, some concrete steps have to be taken for having mass housing projects, etc., where people like these who do not have anywhere to go, at least they should be rehabilitated during the course of the time if in case the buildings are dilapidated or they are going for redevelopment and construction.
Legally, Mr. Khan, what is the legal recourse here on both sides, really, for the civic body, the state government, to ensure that people vacate a building which is this dangerous and capable of taking lives if it collapses, and on the other hand, for people, where they're being told to vacate, whether, and if they have no place to go, that some sort of alternative has to be worked out for them. Is there any legal recourse on any end?
See, as I told you, there have been various judgments passed by the Bombay High Court where the court has made it very clear that the municipal corporation, before taking any action, they have to make a list of the tenants or the residents, etc. And their rights are not affected by the demolition of the building or the collapse of the building. And as I said recently, also judgments have been passed. See, there is a huge number of buildings which are dilapidated and which needs to be demolished. But in stark contrast, there are no buildings where these people can be accommodated. The municipal corporation, Mahada, is also trying hard. But considering the shortage of land and the rises in the prices of the real estate sector, it's difficult for the authorities also to make accommodations. So the solution that will have to be brought in place is that some places will have to be identified. Some mass housing development projects have to be undertaken by the government on a war scale, and maybe units etc. have to be constructed. And in incidents like this, or buildings which are dilapidated, the residents can be accommodated in that. Also, the municipal corporation has been given the right of initiating action against people who are not vacating the premises. Right in 2014, the Bombay High Court has said that water and electricity connection can be discontinued. Police force can be taken use of if the tenants are not, releasing the premises, or they are not offering it for demolition, or they are not evicting the premises. Also, there is a major issue of officials who who close their eyes on such kind of constructions, or who just give notices, etc. But then actual real action of assessing the buildings and carrying out demolition and rehabilitation of the tenants never take place. It's a blame game that is run from one office to the other office, or one pillar to the other pillar. In spite of extensive directions being passed by the Honorable High Court against the municipal corporation, the state government, and responsibility of the officers has also been told to be fixed. But I am personally aware of such illegal constructions in this vicinity where this building has collapsed,
Right.
and no action has been taken by the officials.
All
Only
right.
the blame game or the buck is being passed from here to there.
Yes, absolutely. That seems to be what happens all the time, blame game and the buck being passed from one to the other. Thank you so much, Mr. Khan, for joining us with your perspective.
Welcome.